I believe that the Australia-India relationship is an idea whose time has come.
In the Asian century, clearly our relationships with India, China, Japan, South Korea, Indonesia are all critically important.
We live in a globalized world. Australia is increasingly seeing itself as an Asian country.
That cross-cultural understanding is critical for this interconnected world.
I think it's vitally important for young people from Australia to take part in programs like the Australia-India Study Tour.
More and more people have personal international networks that have been forged by this person-to-person engagement, so that as a country we have this rich resource going forward of people who can engage readily abroad.
Hello, I'm Naomi Birchett. I just finished a Bachelor of Arts at Melbourne University. I'm looking forward to doing either speech pathology or the Executive Master of Arts at Melbourne University next year, and I am going on the Australia-India Institute study tour in 2013.
Hi, my name's Matt, and I'm 18 and I'm studying a Bachelor of Arts at the University of Melbourne. My majors are in political science and economics.
My name is Diana David. I'm a Kanji woman from Far North Queensland. I'm currently studying an arts degree in political science history at the University of Melbourne.
Hello, I'm Andrea. I'm studying nursing at Australian Catholic University in Melbourne.
I'm Philip Liberatore, and I've just finished my second year of a Bachelor of Arts and a Bachelor of Laws at Deakin University in Burwood.
My name is Shabab. I study Bachelor of Aerospace Engineering at RMIT. I'm 23 and I'm going to Australia-India Study Tour next year.
I think that a study tour is a great way to facilitate young Australians interacting with young people from all over the world.
I'm big on two-way learning, and I think a lot of gaps and a lot of understanding can be made through this engagement.
You know, we know other cultures, we're cultural, but we're not stopping and trying to look for a deeper understanding.
The young people that can really drive the change in any society.
For me, uni was this whole new world, and that's opened it up for my family and for me. I think that these kind of study tours, by putting us into India, giving us that understanding, we can also take that back and broaden it out. That's why it's important.
The diversity of culture, of economy, of social conditions, it's very difficult to get a handle on without experiencing that practically in countries where the things that I'm reading about can be applied.
This big bundle of thoughts and feelings and attitudes and cultures and everything that people present to you and that you hear about, and I really want to see it.
Just listening to their experiences and sharing my culture and sharing my Indigenous side plus my Australian side.
I'm really excited about the smell, and I'm really excited about the noise, and I'm really excited about the colour.
I believe the slum tour, as it's called, that will be going on, will be a great privilege and a great eye-opener. Of course, seeing the Taj Mahal would be a dream come true.
The University of Delhi, and shopping, and the Gandhi Museum as well.
I think I'm most excited for Delhi. I've spoken to a few people and they've said that the juxtaposition of old and new is something that's shocking, but at the same time a little bit inspiring. So I'm really excited to see that.
I hope to get different stories from their lives, and I hope to share stories from my life, and I hope to create ongoing friendships.
I'm most concerned about how we cross these busy roads in India that I've heard many scary stories about.
Knowing when to speak, or when approaching males or females, I think that's sort of the scary thing about it. My family has strong Indigenous cultural backgrounds, and we've got a lot of sort of similar things of who you can approach with males and females and how you look at them, and I think that's the biggest thing.
I hope that I can share enough of my opinions and get other people's opinions without asking too many rude questions or without saying too many problematic things.
I've been back from India for a week now, and I'm experiencing more cultural shock having arrived here rather than having arrived there, which is quite an interesting thing, I think, but it just stands testament to how different and how amazing and how enlightening and inspiring the 10 days we had there really were.
Whatever emotions you can describe, I've sort of felt all of those in the past week.
I'm still digesting the trip. Just how I look at their culture now. The whole trip was so worthwhile and I learnt so much.
You can read about what you should and you shouldn't do, but you never really know until you actually speak with someone from a culture. I just learnt so much more than all the units that I've done at school about communicating properly with people and respecting people, and I think that'll be really important to me in my career.
The engagement opportunities we had with people across the entire spectrum of the Australia-India bilateral relationship. We met the High Commission, we met kids who grew up in Dharavi, and we met people who were working for NGOs. A whole range of different people who had a different perspective on what it meant to be Indian, what it meant to be part of this bilateral relationship.
India is a land of contradictions. Seeing people sleeping on the roads, literally, and having no roof. I'd never expected to see people being so deprived and yet so committed to improving their situations and the situation of their country.
I cannot believe that through the good, the bad and the ugly, they get up each morning to make that dollar. Every dollar counts.
I thought that it was going to be frantic and people everywhere and busy and horns honking all the time, and it was, but it was also really nice to walk into sacred places like palaces and temples. It was like stepping into another world. We had a really lovely tour guide who had studied art and history, and her job was to take people around Old Delhi as if it were a gallery. So we were basically wandering around, like looking at all the little things that you would usually just walk past.
Going to the Amber Fort in Jaipur is an example of seeing a piece of history of India up in the mountains of Rajasthan. It's a very beautiful place. It's such a large complex with great decorations on walls and roofs.
We met an inspiring lady by the name of Javina Jaffa, and I just thought that she was just so amazing, especially being a woman in India and achieving her degree and being a single mother. And
we had a Bollywood dance night. Our first night, I think it was at Jindal University.
One of the most memorable occasions during this tour was playing cricket with the students at Jindal University. It's through that game that we got to know more students. We made good friends with them.
After our debate at Jindal, just having an opportunity to talk to the other kids about their opinions on uranium sales, being able to have banter with them on the cricket pitch. Those were really, really special things for me because it drew a link that textbooks and lectures can't really draw.
In Jaipur I had some chai and it was served in a little clay pot, and you're supposed to throw it into the bin and smash it when you've finished drinking it, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. It's like, why don't you save them? Because you could save some money, you could just like clean them and reuse them. And the person selling the chai said, but what would the people who make the cups do? So basically the chai makers were like supporting the people who make the cups as well, which was really sweet, I thought.
Personally, you grow in self-confidence when you travel. Travel is the best form of education.
There's a lot of emphasis on building bridges, building relationships with India. Youth interaction in particular is one of the most important ways in which these relationships can be flourished.
I think it's important that the government supports projects like this because they're a really good learning experience, not just for the people involved but for all the people that I've come home to and like talked to about India and all the experiences that I had there and the people that I met.
it's all about strengthening our relationship with Australia and India. I will treasure this experience for the rest of my life.
Having a workforce that understands these cultures, that has experienced these cultures, that have been and lived in these countries is a remarkably rich resource for our country as we go forward.